watching the Late Night News. Well, was the Congress-DMK stalemate really a fight over 3 seats? Our senior editor Radhika Iyer was joined by senior journalist Murari in our studio for this discussion. Take a look.
There are also indications now, Mr. Murari, that the PMK perhaps is playing into it. The PMK knows fully well, and we do know that particularly Anbumani Ramadas knows that it needs the Congress party. He, of course, would want an alliance with the Congress party, and so it seems from sources, it's not official yet, that the PMK is willing to sacrifice 3 seats, and in all likelihood, the Congress could well get 63 seats as they had asked for. So is it a case where the Congress is getting what it wants, or is it a case where the DMK has tried to arm twist the UP government?
In fact, it is the other way around. It was the inclusion of PMK without consulting the Congress, which was one of the factors which upset the Congress leadership.
Right.
Because they wanted, it is very plain, Karnataka himself has said it in his statement. He was willing to finalize the deal with the Congress before going to the other allies. But Congress took its own time, and Congress, DMK also has its own compulsions. If he did not act and rope in PMK, PMK would have gone to the other side.
Right.
So his primary aim is to defeat the Jayalalitha and then consolidate his own position. But Congress had other ideas. So there was no meeting point between the two sides. So roping in PMK, I don't think is wrong. And again, another point, he waited for DMK to move to the other side before he took a stand against the Congress. 3 years after the Vijaykant leaders met Jayalalitha, he came out with a statement and saying, this is very unfair, we have been humiliated and all that. But if you look at the tenor of the statement he made even after that, we have been humiliated, we have never had such an experience before. And all that he said at the end of it was, he was not withdrawing support to the government, we are withdrawing the ministers from the government. This is because they don't want us there. It is a question of self-respect.
All right, it was of course a wishy-washy stance which they took when they said that they would withdraw support, but they are willing to give issue-based support, and that of course many read as a very wishy-washy statement or a stance where they meant to keep the cake and eat the cake too. Would you think that by the time they make up, which perhaps will take, let's say, 24 hours from now, even if there is going to be a make-up, would you think that it's still going to be difficult for the alliance to go on, considering the cadre and the man who's right down there trying to be a cadre or a spokesperson or a cadre person of the DMK or the Congress would find it difficult to really gel because they really were celebrating the wake-up?
Yes, naturally there is a lot of bitterness between the two sides and there will be no coordination between the sides. In fact, this is also one of the reasons the DMK said, the Congress never has grassroots level workers, the DMK has to sweat it out for them, and at the end of it they don't even spend the money that have been allocated to them for each election, and that is one of the reasons why it is the weakest link in the chain in any election. So they don't want to give away seats which indirectly will go to Jayalalitha. This is one of the reasons advanced by the DMK.
Well, pressure seems to be building on the Election Commission for rescheduling the polling date in Tamil Nadu. After political parties, it is now a request from the academic sector. Since the public exams for the 10th and 12th standard students is too close to the election date, a petitioner has filed a public interest litigation in the Madras High Court to postpone the elections, saying that the welfare of the students would be affected badly due to the present election schedule.
The public examinations for the 12th standard are scheduled till 28th March, and the 10th public examinations are going to be held till 11th of April. So within one day, that is on the 12th of April, preparing the schools for polling booth is an impossible issue. And even otherwise, if they start 1 week ahead preparing the schools for polling booths, definitely they will create inconvenience to the students, and students also will not be able to prepare for the exams in a peaceful manner. The second thing is that teachers who are working, who are right now busy with the examinations, immediately they'll have to switch over the election duty, and they will not be in a position to discharge the election duty in a proper manner. That is why we had represented the Election Commission to reschedule the elections. Election Commission on various occasions has rescheduled the election. In fact, in Mizoram, the local people represented that the polling falls on a Saturday, kindly reschedule it. Taking that into consideration, the Election Commission has rescheduled the general elections to Mizoram itself. But here is a genuine case where we are asking that because of the exams, the polling has to be rescheduled. But the Election Commission has refused. Election Commission has clearly told that there will be no reschedulement of elections. That is why we approached the Honorable High Court for a direction to direct the Election Commission to reschedule the polls.
And with just a month to go for the elections, the police department too is gearing up to make sure all goes well. The city police have requested 15 companies of paramilitary forces for the election bandobast duty, out of which 2 companies have already arrived in Chennai. The most and least sensitive booths have been identified, and the paramilitary forces will be deployed in all the 3 counting centers in Chennai, which are in Anna University, Loyola College and Queen Mary's College. Well, the AIADMK General Secretary Jayalalitha has added fuel to fire by sending out notices to 3 media organizations, the DMK's mouthpiece Murasoli, Kalanya TV, as well as the Mumbai-based tabloid Midday, for carrying reports that suggested that she had links to tainted Hassan Ali. Jayalalitha has threatened civil and criminal action against these organizations if they do not tender an unconditional apology. The AIADMK Supremo added that the reports were defamatory, malicious and baseless and were aimed at denting her reputation. She also stated that she was the one who pressed for action against those who stashed away black money at foreign banks. And let's now take a quick look at how gold and silver did today. Let's bring up the bullion rates. Still ahead on the bulletin, Rajasthan mourns the death of 15 mothers due to unknown reasons. More on this shocking story when we come back.